The second quarter of the 19th century saw the exodus of the most powerful Jewish family of the Sassanids from the round city of Baghdad to Iran, fearing of the persecution ordered by Dawood Pasha. The head of the family was in the port city of Bushehr for some time in the business of farm products. The development of Bombay, led by the British East India Company, made him sensing a big business opportunity and thereby leaving Iran and making Bombay his headquarters, only to create history and made others, earning wealth through his activities. This man was David Sassoon, who was then later called as the Rothschild of the East due to his international clout spreading over Great Britain, India, and China. He raised the family of 8 sons and 6 daughters. Over the period of time, some of the family members settled in Great Britain at a time when the British East India Company was building 3 great cities in India: Bombay, Madras, and Calcutta for its business. The company was trading in farm products such as tea, spices, cotton, silk, and others. The construction of the Suez Canal in the Middle East was the most celebrated event, coupled with industrial revolution throughout the world, where Britain has established itself as an undisputed leader. Overland routes were being built in Britain to London with other cities in United Kingdom. New markets were being developed to sell the products produced in the factories in the United Kingdom. The raw materials were to be sourced from 3 important countries: India, America, and China. Trade, transport, and technology were to change the future of the world, in which the British East India Company was to exist as the first multinational company. Today, his legacy has extended beyond India and its traces can be found in the UK, China, and to a little extent in America. He created wealth not only for him, but also for many people directly or indirectly, thanks to his sharp business acumen and philanthropic nature. His legacy has been recognized and appreciated by the local government in Bombay, now called as Mumbai. The empire was a great beneficiary, and his services to the Raj were recognized by naturalizing him as British citizens in 1853. This all was achieved by the man who spoke Arabic, Hebrew, Hindustani, the language of India. His secret of the growth was to recognize merit, honesty, and integrity. He never saw the cultural background of his business partner while in Mumbai. The importance of religion and ethics were never ignored in the process of earning money for the family, and he made his children learn their religion and get connected to their religious roots. All the religious duties were performed by the family in a right way as they lived in India. He needed a port to trade with the whole world. The Sassoon Dock Port, his private port, came into existence even before the government in India built its own port, the Bombay Docks. The port that served his business is now the biggest market for fish trade in India. Unfortunately for David Sassoon, he could not see the port, as it became functional after his life was over. Silk is one of speciality of India. The world has been knowing this since ancient times due to the silk trade and route that connected China and Europe. Today, the Belt and the Road initiative undertaken by China, spreading over many countries, is the modern version of the same route. After trading in commodities, he ventured into silk manufacturing. His silk factory produced the best of the silk during those times, for which India was always known. He received a very good offer for his silk factory from Indian businessman Mr. Podar in the silk trade, and he transferred his shares to Mr. Podar. His residence in Mumbai during his lifetime was called as San Souci, meaning I am carefree in French. The family sold his house to a local philanthropic family which runs a hospital known as Masina Hospital. This house is witness to many important events such as celebrations on the occasion of transfer of powers from British East India Company to the Queen of England, Queen Victoria. It also received important guests like Prince of Wales when and Lord Elphinstone. He did not have a quality time with his family and ensured that he is with the family on holidays to form a strong bond with them. China had the potential to benefit the Raj. It was growing cotton required by the textile mills in Lancashire and Manchester. It was a great market for the goods, and the Europeans East India companies across Europe has recognized the Chinese potential. Merchants were visiting China to source products, and Shanghai was the gateway to China. Sassoons had the vision to tap this opportunity, which they did utilize successfully for their benefit. The deputation of one of his sons to China to fulfill his dreams made his empire grow beyond India, making David Sassoon and Company truly an Indian multinational company. He bought some properties in Shanghai and entered into real estate business. Besides real estate, he was also in merchant activities to and from China. He also played a very crucial role in the formation of Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation. The journey to success is never without hurdles. He did meet some competition, both from Indians and Europeans. In spite of them, the show went on. He was in great terms with an Indian businessman and philanthropist, Sir Jamshedji Jijiboy, called as Sir JJ, even today, although they were strong business rivals. They were operating in the same business demographics, including time, products, and the geography of resources and markets. Besides Sir JJ, even Mr. Kawasaji Jahangir, an Indian businessman and a great philanthropist, was climbing the ladder of success along with the Sassoons in 19th century. He was titled Ready Money by the Empire. He managed to contain and neutralize an English company which was also into the same verticals and in the same market. The company was Jardine and Matheson Co., founded by two Englishmen, Mr. William Jardine and Mr. James Matheson. The goddess of luck was having a benevolent eye on Sassoon family. They operated in an environment when America was witnessing a civil war in 19th century. The textile mills in Lancashire and Manchester were having problems and supplies were disrupted. The textile-driven economy was now in jeopardy due to no production and loss of markets. There were signs of war between the Great Britain and China, adding fuel to the fire. India gained importance to the empire, and there was a need to establish textile production facilities in India. Bombay was obviously their first choice. This was realized by the Sassoons, and Bombay saw an establishment of the first of the textile mills in India. David Sassoon was one of the pioneers in the cotton textile mill. This led to the growth of the industrial activities related to textiles and chemicals in Bombay, bringing wealth to citizens of Bombay. One important export to China from India was opium, and the Sassoons were the leaders, and the empire was the beneficiary of the opium trade. Opium grown in three Indian states had a devastating effect in the Chinese society due to drug related issues. The Buddhist morals were never a mute spectator to this opium menace. The Qing dynasts banned the opium trade. This was a big jolt both to the empire and the stakeholders, which also included powerful Jewish lobby in the United Kingdom comprising of the Sassoons. War was declared against China as a result of the extensive lobbying. These are called Opium Wars. Peace treaty was signed as the Chinese conceded the defeat, and Hong Kong was carved out of China as a result of these Anglo-Sino War, in which France also joined hands with Britain. The corporate social responsibility was assumed by him even in 19th century. The wealth which was accumulated through society was partially given back to the society by his family. David Sassoon Library and Reading Room, founded by him in 1863, is probably the first public library in Asia and definitely the oldest in India. He also contributed open-heartedly towards the first museum city in Victoria and Albert Museum, now renamed as Bhaudaji Lad Museum after a noted biologist. The family also contributed towards two schools in Baikala, Sir Jacob Sassoon High School and EEE Sassoon High School. They also supported the home for the elderly care in Pune near Mumbai. The need for the engineers in the future was also felt, and Mechanics Institute was founded to cater to this need. The young misguided children were given a chance to reform themselves in a home for the juvenile detention center in Mumbai. The need to offer prayers was addressed by the family by supporting two prominent synagogues. The foundation of the Sassoon Hospital in Pune was a milestone in serving the patients. Today, it is one of the leading hospitals in Pune, providing healthcare services to its citizens. Mahatma Gandhi, father of the nation, was admitted in this hospital for his appendix surgery. Incidentally, there was an electricity failure and the surgery was done in candlelight. On 7th November 1864, his journey to this world was over and his physical remains were buried in Ohel Megan Synagogue in Pune. His legacy was carried out by his descendants who moved to different parts of the world during his lifetime. The time favored the Sassoons till Second World War. They grew and went on growing. However, the family's focus on high society and luxurious living continued long after it could be helpful to them or the company. Their lack of attention to business, the two world wars which undermined their particular model of international trade, and their moving their operations from India to China just before the communist takeover spelled slow disaster for the dynasty. David Sassoon and Company eventually went into liquidation around 1988. Visible remains of the Sassoons could be seen in Mumbai and Pune in India. In the UK, one can find their mausoleum turned pub in Kemp Town and a plaque in St. Anne's Well Gardens. Today, the Sassoon Investment Corporation, a private equity fund founded by some of the descendants of the firm, is continuing the legacy of the Sassoons.